Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and how are you? Welcome to Rider Ramblings. Yes, it's afternoon today, and you might notice we're somewhere different. Somebody commented just that I always seem to be in Paris, so today I thought I would start the video once I'd left most of the urban sprawl of Paris. We are actually in the countryside, southeast of Paris at the moment. We're going to a place called Bering, and there's mud on the road according to that sign, which I wouldn't be surprised with all these fields. Anyhow, today is another day of demonstrations. It's not technically a strike day, so France isn't actually all on strike today, but they are revolting. They're expecting about 800,000, yep, you heard me correctly, in the centre of Paris to demonstrate, and they're expecting something like about 14 million. Excuse me while we just get rid of the lycra louts. I think we've just left the 50 and we're now in the 70 or 80. Right, yes, they're expecting about 4 million or so, I think, people demonstrating in and around Paris. Now, I'm going a bit quicker than I normally do when I record this, so I hope you can hear me. We will be going slowly in a moment. So, yes, so most of France is revolting, but you probably knew that already. Yes, it's a beautiful day, and I was going to talk about technology on vehicles and how it's probably causing more accidents than it's actually saving. This is just a pet theory of mine, and if you look at the accident statistics for the last 20 years, they've actually, the number of fatalities, percentage-wise, per 100,000 vehicles, has actually increased in the last 20 years. It's not actually gone down, which is a little bit surprising when you think that 20 years ago most vehicles did not have anti-lock brakes, ABS. Most vehicles did not have traction control. They certainly didn't have TFT screens. They might have had some LCD on them, but definitely not TFT. And they didn't have all these different rider aids and complexity. And it's just a theory of mine, and I can only say it is a theory, that I think there's too much complexity now, and people are spending too much time messing about with the electronics on their TFT screens or whatever, rather than actually driving the vehicle. I mean, this vehicle is a sort of case in point, in that it's actually got more on it than my Deauville. The Deauville just has a rev counter, speedometer, and a very basic display for fuel consumption and a tripometer, mileometer, odometer, that type of thing. Whereas this has, on the right-hand side, it has an LCD display which can be configured to do all sorts of things. And which occasionally, I will admit, to flicking through to get other information. Now, I normally have it set on the inside and inside. I'm not in a car. I normally have it set on I normally didn't even look, just walked straight out onto the zebra crossing. I mean, you know, Darwinian Award participant by the looks of things. One day there'll be a white van coming round and it'll just take her out. As I say, I do normally have it on outside temperature, which is showing 11 degrees at the moment, and the water temperature, which is at 90 at the moment, and the odometer. But there are times when I'll actually change it onto the trip meter, the odometer, the mileometer or whatever, to see how many miles I've done, and also what my current fuel state is. And that, as I say, it is just a press of a button on the left handlebar, so it is automatic. But then I can actually use this top button here to actually change things, change what I can see, and to alter things like putting heat on the heated grips, which is what the top part is set at the moment, although there are no, I haven't got any heat going on. I'll just put some on now, so you can see it's on the one bar, because I'm about to go into the countryside, and I imagine it'll be a little bit cooler down there. Yeah, so I honestly do think that we've now got too much technology in vehicles in general. I mean, yes, ABS and traction control are useful under a lot of circumstances. On this vehicle there is traction control and you can turn it off. There's a button next to the rev counter just for that purpose. But you can't turn the ABS off on this, so if you actually go down a gravel track or somebody's gravel drive, you have to be a bit careful, because you can't actually turn the ABS off unless you pull the fuse, which you have to actually take out. You have to take a panel off the side of the vehicle. So, yes, I'm now of the opinion that... oh grief, we've got the local scouts. Don't know, scoots, I think is what they're called. Right, we've got a few minutes of, well, about a minute and a half, shooting, of countryside. So I'll shut up while we do this, and I'll pick it back up again when we'll get to the next village. Well, that cleared the sinuses. So, I'd like your thoughts on this, actually. Do you think that there's now too many distractions in cars? I mean, if you go back to, say, the late 1960s, no, I couldn't drive in the late 1960s, I was too young. But if you go back then, my father, well, he actually in 1964 bought a new car in the UK, and he shipped it out to the Far East because that's where he was living and working at the time. And it was a Hillman Super Minx. It was. And that car had 4 gears, a clutch, of course, a brake, an accelerator, indicators, lights, and a heater. He actually had spotlights added as well. But that's it. That is it. There was no radio. There was no entertainment system. There was nothing to cause distractions. Nothing at all. You know, when you were driving the car, you were either talking to your passenger if you had one, or, and you know, you were you know, if you didn't have one, you were silent and there with your own thoughts. So I think things were much safer because people actually concentrated on what they were doing. Now they're, you know, oh, I don't like this track, let's shuffle to the next track. Oh, you know, oh, the volume's a bit high, let's turn that down. Oh, what does the sat-nav say? Oh, I've just missed that turning because I didn't actually bother planning my route before I left. I just left it up to the sat-nav to do it all for me. Oh, I didn't understand that one. Oops, yes, sorry, missus. Oh, look, you know, there's a flashing light on the dashboard. What am I going to do now? You know, it's this type of thing. So, and then you've got, you know, the complete entertainment system. You know, people can watch films, not while they're driving, of course. Well, not in theory. You know, but people can watch films and so on, if they wish, in the passenger seat. So, you know, the driver is listening to the film rather than paying attention to the road and that type of thing. So, I really do think it's not as safe as it used to be. I really do. I think there's too many distractions. You know, I do enjoy driving. It's enjoyable. I do. How about this for a town hall in front? I think it's the town hall. I do come down here often. Well, I say often, maybe once a month. And I think it might be a private house, actually, I don't know. But a lot of private houses in France were usurped after the revolution and became, oh, it is a private house, it's not a town hall somewhere else. So, yes, so we're right in the middle of the countryside, and I do mean right in the middle of the countryside. We're about to go down a very narrow road, actually. And it is rather interesting. So you'll see some interesting architecture. What I'll do is when I finish chatting, which will be fairly shortly, I will just leave the camera running for for you to see some of the countryside, if you so wish. I've been down that way, there is nothing to see. Honest. I have. So, yes. But we're, as I say, we're about an hour out of Paris, I would say now. Yeah, it would probably take me an hour to get to the centre of Paris from here on the motorbike. Oh, they've pollarded those trees. They've given them a good haircut, haven't they? Wow. Don't know if you saw that. The camera's on the wrong side. I will have to invest in a new camera sometime. Anyhow, I'll shut up and let the video play out. I'd like to have your thoughts on technology in vehicles. I'll say thank you very much. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. And we'll talk to you next time. If you've seen the video Motorcycles Can't Swim that I created, I'll put a link to it. I actually fell into the ford down there. Yeah. I did. Oops. It was, how can I put this, exceptionally slippy. We could hardly stand up. In fact, as I say, the people who came to help me, one of them nearly fell in. Was very lucky not to fall in. And the other one slipped and slid a bit as well. So yeah. On the left-hand side, behind the wall that you can just see there, is one of the German war cemeteries. I've been in, and it's not as nicely kept as the British and Commonwealth war graves. It's the only one I know of, German one around here. There's an American one in Paris. Well, there's a couple of American ones in Paris. And as I say, the German one there's lots, and I do mean lots, of Commonwealth war graves. I mean, like you wouldn't believe. Virtually every town and village has a little section in it with the Commonwealth war graves, or the French military war graves in it. Right. What time is it?